Hello everyone, I'm the French Monk and welcome back to another video on Shokuho, Bannerlord's upcoming samurai mod, still in development, but as you guys know I've been granted early access to this project, so that means I get to show you just how far it's along, what it's all about and all the things that you can do. We are still very much in the explorative phase. For those new to the channel or unaware, this is part 2 of my, and I guess our first impressions. I'm taking you guys with me as mentioned, we're exploring it together, bit by bit. We've already covered a bunch of things in the first video, going from the character creator to the naval mechanics to visiting settlements, and we finished with the already widely praised dual location feature. So some pretty cool stuff, and we are still only grasping at the surface, because there's a bunch more things to unpack. So I'm going to approach this in a similar way as I did in the first episode. I will explore the campaign map, and as we explore and uncover new things, I will talk about them, explain a bit how they work and the developer's intent behind them, and that way I feel like we can truly dive into what sets this mod apart, both from the main game and from some of the other bigger mods out there. Not to bash them of course, because there's some really good ones out there, but I really want to highlight the passion and work that went into this particular project. So let's get right back to where we left off, which was when I showed off the dual location scene. Next on the list, since it's still pretty early in my campaign, I was still looking around and I saw that there was an actual tournament happening nearby in the town of Kumamoto. Something I really like about the tournaments and the dojo is that they actually have different scenes for the fights. So in this case, when I was dueling in a 1v1, it took place in the much smaller arena inside, whilst in one of the rounds where me and 3 others were on the field, it took place outside in a larger area, accommodating multiple opponents fighting at the same time. I thought that was a really cool detail, and it adds some more variety instead of having to fight in the same arena over and over again, or having to walk for a while before finally engaging your last opponent. Now in these early stages of a campaign, you want to take part in these kinds of events, because this is where you make a lot of money quickly, as well as earn decent items which you can then sell or use to strengthen your character. It didn't take long after my tournament before I stumbled upon one of the features unique to this mod, namely the post-battlefield locations. So these are locations that spawn in on the campaign map after major battles took place in that area between AI armies. Any major battle you yourself haven't fought in, that is. So you can decide to visit these and loot whatever remains are left. You gotta be careful though, because you're not the only ones snooping around. There's all sorts of people out there trying to make a dime off of the corpses of those that fought there. I must say I really liked the vibe I got when I entered this location. Or I wouldn't say I liked the vibe, but you know, I liked what they were going for. It was very eerie. You had the fog, the bodies of the soldiers, some of them piled up close to each other, and no sounds playing, no music either. So let me just be quiet for a bit and show you what I mean before turning on some of the background music back up and talk again. So yeah, that's pretty eerie, right? I think they really nailed the atmosphere you would have visiting such a place. Definitely when you see the couple of guys running in the distance looting corpses, and that was actually a moment that prompted me to go check out the pile right there and have the few soldiers that I had with me to come along, hoping to deter anyone from jumping me. Now as you know, this is a project still in development, so there's bound to be some issues and crashes and such. And in this case, I noticed with some of them, the stuttering and the issues drawing their weapons. That is just something that still needs some fixing. The archers on the other hand, oh, they were working just fine. You can actually hear the arrows whistling past me, hitting the trees and such, so I try to dodge as many as I can whilst running for help, as some of my soldiers got a bit too far away from me. So eventually my soldiers got up really close to the archers and we managed to take them down. It was then that I started to realize that the enemies would keep coming in waves, so the best thing to do was to leave. Now you can't leave, at least that's the prompt I got, when the next wave has already entered the area. You got to dispatch them, and in between waves you're allowed to leave. I must say, besides some of the guys still having issues, I was having a lot of fun, but I was also really focused in trying not to die. Just look at this guy, by the way, dodging my attack. I guess he read it pretty well that I was gonna lunge for him, so he backed off a little when I turned around. Something I haven't told you guys yet is that you can hit multiple opponents at once in this mod when swinging your weapon, which I really like. It also saved me in this particular situation, being able to deal damage to multiple guys as they nearly got me there in the end. The loot I got, you ask? It was a lot. I found whistling arrows, different kinds of weapons, including various bows, omiyari spears, katana swords, and more importantly armor pieces, which I wanted to test out here and see what they looked like, as well as the bonuses they gave in defense. The items I didn't need I sold to the closest marketplace, and they earned me a lot of money for early game, honestly. After having sold these items, I looked around and decided to visit a nearby castle to see what that kind of scene looks like. I visited a village at a town in my first video, so this time I went in with some expectations. You just can't not after seeing those beautiful scenes, you know? Also, I thought it was proper to complete the set by checking out a village, a town and a castle. You know, the three main types of settlements that you can visit in Bannerlord. Not counting bandit lairs and the other locations that they added in this mod. I'm talking about the OG3. So here we are, Aya Castle. Now keep in mind, not every castle scene will look like this. There's some variety in this as well. I will also take in mind some of you guys' suggestions of visiting other major towns as well, such as Kyoto, so that you can get an idea of what they look like. Mind you, the area that is most complete is the southern island. The scenes for settlements outside that island are not yet set, and so they are still subject to change. Now I also, during my travels, checked out one of the temples that I came across. Shokuho temple to be exact. So when you click on these, it will say that you've approached this temple, giving a description of what it looks like, in this case richly decorated and crowded with pilgrims and prayers from across the region. It is a thriving and flourishing sacred place. You can then choose to donate money that you have to the temple, which I believe will make it possible for you to increase your standings with the monks and recruit these special units. Next to that, they also sell books which will help you develop your skills. Mind you, these books are very expensive, and rightfully so. I want to add that this is one of those features that I think a lot of players wanted in vanilla Bannerlord as well, because books were pretty useful back in Warband, giving you boosts to your skills or attributes without having to level up. You could purchase them from book merchants in the taverns. It also took quite a bit of time to read them in order to receive that particular boost. I don't know why Tailworlds decided to not copy that feature from Warband into Bannerlord, but yeah, I can definitely understand the frustration and see why the players were more critical of developers' their decisions, mentioning this particular featuring missing in the vanilla game, and then as well linking other important or fun things missing from Bannerlords, such as feasts, more in-depth diplomacy mechanics, relationships with nobles in the form of deeper courtship mechanics. There are also no claimants either that you could help guide to the throne, thus inciting civil wars within factions, and so on. So yeah, I can definitely understand the frustration there. But that is a little teaser for another video that I'm making, and where I'm hoping to inspire some discussion regarding that topic. So back to Shokuho. Next up, I wanted to reward you guys with a full-scale land battle. I've shown some glimpses here and there in the first video, and we've got to experience our first naval battle too. But since that first video did so well, I had to go with the iconic location from the Shokuho trailer. This beautiful golden forest map with an open clearing a bit further. Absolutely stunning. I'll be quiet and I will let you enjoy the gameplay and the sounds, but before going silent for a bit, I will also hint, for now, one of the cool things they've done when it comes to immersing yourself in these battles has to do with the music, so just keep an ear out for that. there you have it. For those who found out what it was about the music, you've got a good ear, but let me explain it nonetheless. So when a battle starts up, the music playing in the background is less intense and it builds up once there's more action on screen. Pretty neat, right? So that's gonna have to do it for this episode. We've covered a few more things in this one, but there's still plenty more to explore. And if you want more Shokuho to come your way, all you gotta do is hit that like button and subscribe for more videos on this amazing project. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Let me know in the comments what your favorite moments were or what you're really looking forward to, and also if there's anything you want me to check out in particular and bring on screen. Don't hesitate to tell me and I will make a note of it for the next episode. Thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care everyone.